We're here today to celebrate the very proud history of the Denali Bowling Club, and we're celebrating the 80th anniversary. So I'm here to present two of the very famous ladies of the Denali Bowling Club, one being Loretta Parker and the second being Marg Davies. So welcome, ladies.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Loretta, I might just start with you, and firstly, you'd have to say a magnificent career.
Yes.
A life member, right at the top of the list, and as we were talking about just before, such a proud list it is of ladies. And you guys were mentioning that the last reunion, all the ladies were here, and now
all
there's
the life members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're the only two life members that are you guys. Yeah. And I'm sure for a start that'd have some great memories of those ladies that you spent time with over the years.
Sure
We have, yes.
So Loretta, you've been a treasurer of the club for 3 years, premiership player a total of 13 times, which is pretty incredible.
8 times with the ladies and 3 with the men.
Yep.
With 3.
Club champion 4 times.
What?
Would that be right? Champion of champions, you've won that as well. President's Trophy twice.
Some in front.
The handicap singles you've won 4 times.
I've forgotten all these, Andy.
Yeah. Regional pennant champion in 2017, 2018. That must have been pretty special.
It was very special.
Yeah. Yep. Where was that? Where did that take place?
Where was it? Kyneton.
Kyneton. Yeah.
I've even forgotten that.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's setting in.
And state events 5 times. Would that be something right? And one mixed. You had a win there with Barry Mortlock.
Yes, I know we played that down, way down Whoopie.
Played that at Kyneton.
Was it Kyneton? Okay.
And now also grandchildren playing bowls.
Yes,
And that must be special.
it is. Very
Just to
special.
see that.
Yeah, and really enjoying it.
Fantastic. If we could just touch on Marg, also one of the special life members.
Yes,
Of
I was
the
made
club?
a life member in 2013.
2013. Secretary of the club for 7 years.
Yes,
A premiership player a total of 12 times. Does that sound about right?
yes, it would be right.
11 midweek and 1 on a weekend.
Yes,
Club champion 7 times. President Trophy 8. Handicap single 8. Regional pennant champions, along with Loretta, I take it.
Loretta, yes.
State event 5 times as well. And one of the mixed, you also won with your husband Jeff.
Yes, 3 years, 3 consecutive
3
years.
consecutive years. Yep. Ladies, that's pretty remarkable achievements. What's some of the memories you guys have got from that? I know you've got your own notes as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have.
Please let us feel free to talk about it.
About the... Gosh.
I started bowling in 1990
Yeah.
and I was awarded a life membership in 2013, and Loretta started in 1991, and we've had an absolute wonderful career in bowling, us 2 girls.
Well, when we first started, Mark and I were beginners, and no one wanted to play with us at the time because we weren't all that good. And so we joined up, and we've been together, playing together ever since, and won a lot of things in that time.
We had a great time playing state pairs, and we ended up going group level, group 1 level. We won that 5 times, and we went down to Berwick to play in the last 16 of the state in 2010. And we were unable to find accommodation because all the other associations had got in first and booked the accommodation out, and the club coach and his wife offered to take us in, us two girls from the country. Loretta drove me down. Never driven through the tunnel before. Good fun.
That would have been an experience.
It was on the Monash Freeway. She was a champion. And they took us in, and it was a really different level of competition at state pairs. You'd find a lot of state players in that. But the couple were very hospitable, and after we'd finished our competition, we didn't go very far because of the standard.
Yeah.
But everyone down there loved it. Our shirts were quite new at the time, and everyone were taking photos of us. The back of our shirts, they wanted to see the shirts.
Yeah. Turn around, we'll have.
Turn around, we'll take you back.
Yeah, to see that. Yeah, so and then they took us all around the district, driving us around the district, which was pretty special.
Yeah. Some great memories.
And that one year we won the state fours.
Oh, in
the state triples.
That's right. In that particular year, we won the pairs, the triples, and the fours with two other girls at regional level, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
That was a big year.
It was.
And we won. We won runner-up in the Central Victorian region with the state fours, with Loretta, Val Mortlock, and Jenny McHugh. So that was pretty special. I went up to Witcherproof with Peggy Lacey and Heather Weir, and we played in the regional over 60s triples, and we won it. And I said, we laughed all the way home. Now what have we got ourselves into? We've got to go to Melbourne. So off we went. The boys came with us, Rob and Jeff, and we went down there and played at Darebin. It was quite an experience. We came across state players again, which you do on that level. But that was an achievement. Yeah.
Did you want to do that bit now?
Could I just honour our former associate members and life members who set the foundation of our successes within the club?
That'd be lovely.
Namely, life members Joan Watts, who held a position of secretary for 10 years, the ladies section, Cal Raven, Isle of Lett, who compiled the club history, Nesta Whitehead, she held various positions of office for many years, Doris Proctor and Anne Stevenson. Others were very willing, valuable club members.
Just going back to Anne, she was our dishwasher before we bought a mechanical one. Yes. She always washed the dishes.
And it was really special. They were all still with us when we celebrated our 60th anniversary in 2009. And now we've up to our 75th anniversary. In 2024 we celebrated that. So I'd just like to honour those ladies.
It's lovely.
I've held all positions of office except treasurer, and was secretary for 7 years, and been on the selection and match committee.
Probably I could. I've been an umpire for 30 years. I actually sat for my exam 2 years after I started, and been an umpire ever since. And a coordinator of the umpire board with Anne Ingham, teaching others to be umpires at the time.
And Loretta, can I just ask, what after 2 years of playing, how did that come about?
Because Isla was the only umpire we had, and she felt she'd wanted to stand down. No one else wanted to do it. So I thought I'll have a go.
Good for you.
And it wasn't an easy exam at the time because it's how you look at the questions and how you can answer it wrongly very simply.
Yeah.
It's all different now,
Yep.
but I was going to say, Anne and I'd go to Melbourne and to the meeting, Victorian Bowls Umpires Board meeting, and be updated on all the new rules and what was going on, which was very informative down there. You picked up on a lot of things. I've passed my level 2 umpire's badge. I can't remember what year, but that would have entitled me to umpire at international level, but I wasn't interested in umpiring international. It's just too hard. Every 4 years an umpire has to sit to re-credit themselves, and this year mine runs out and I'm not going to resit.
Well, after, I think, what was it, 30 years?
30 years it's been.
I think you've earned a rest.
Yeah, I think I've done. I find it very hard now to, once you get down, to get up, and I think there's a lot of us that have the same problem. Yeah. That's about that.
We go back to what our uniforms used to be like.
Yeah, we'll go on to that.
They used to be all white, including stockings with strict ruling that the hems should be 13 inches from the ground. And there was a measuring stick in the ladies' room, but I never saw it used. But the president could, if she so desired. If she thought a dress was too short, she could measure it. And hats were white, and we had to leave them on until the president removed hers. And this is back in the 90s, and that was usually around 4 o'clock. And then we progressed to a navy uniform, which was practical, and then we could wear slacks. And then from navy we went on to burgundy, and we got our new shirts in 2004, and Josie Long, Loretta, Val Flett designed the shirts, and then we had them approved by the RVBA and VLBA, which was pretty special. And that's all about the uniform.
I remember when I started bowls, and I told Andy before, you could make your own uniform, sew it yourself or buy it or whatever if you were. And I had a shirt that had pearl buttons on it, and I was told that I had to take those pearl buttons off and put white ones on. But I'm afraid I didn't, and I didn't get pulled up over them again.
So it's pretty strict dress
Such a
code
strict
in those
code.
days. It's much more relaxed and casual now. We've been involved in 8 premiership wins in midweek, and I was
That's
in
about it, yeah.
one Division 3 with the Saturday pennant. And then in the mid-2000s, men could play midweek only as lead and second, and then they could play as third, and in 2024 the men could join us and play in any position in midweek.
Because Maryborough, the Goldfields division had joined with Bendigo instead of Ballarat, and that was their policy to allow men to play anywhere.
Any position. But in 2023, before that happened, I was a skipper, and I was really pleased to remain unbeaten all season with my rink, and it was Tony Galifaro, Sandra Chaplin and Alice Raven. So that was pretty
That's a
special.
big achievement.
Yeah, it was a big achievement.
About it.
That's pennant.
That's pennant. That's pennant. What's next?
I've won 6 club championships with one runner-up to the Champion of Champions. I wasn't really as clever as Loretta, winning the Champion of Champions. And I was chosen in the regional side to play in Swan Hill for 10 years. That's going back a long time. But that was really special too, going up, playing regional for Central Victorian region.
And Mark, how long would that go for, those championships?
Over a weekend usually, yes, and we'd have a manager. And no, it was all good.
And I was one of those selectors for a number of years to select these ladies to go up to Swan Hill.
And how did that fit with you? Because you probably would have been playing as well.
No, well, because I was in that position, I couldn't play. So, we all went up together and stayed for it was a weekend. Yeah. And now it's actually over 3 or 4 days because more involved. It's very...
They're just actually chosen now by the committee in Bendigo, the regional sides. We had to trial in our day to get into the side. So it was pretty daunting. You'd have to go down to Ballarat and the selectors would be, watching and choosing their side. Yeah. Other achievements of mine, as you've mentioned, Jeff and I won the Midlands mixed pairs on 3 consecutive years, and we became runner-up in the last 16 of the state at Kyneton. We just went down by 1 shot, which was pretty good effort, really.
Yep.
And
that would have been pretty special playing with Jeff.
It was special, absolutely special.
Yeah.
And Denali Ladies won the Silver Tray, which is a very prestigious event, used to be. They don't play it now because it's very different now, the running of bowls. But we've still got the Silver Tray here because we haven't been challenged for it.
The last one.
We had the last one.
Ones to win it.
Yeah. And because Loretta was always in that team with me, and we used to have 2 other different girls.
Would I be right in saying the bond for you two especially, that joining at that same time in the early 90s, and here we are at 2025, it's pretty amazing, and that bond would be pretty amazing, I imagine.
One time I thought I needed to bring my bed down here because I was here all the time. But there's a lot of work behind the scenes that no one actually sees, but doing them.
I'd just like to mention Val and Barry Flett too. In 2005 they ran a program for the primary school children to learn to play. It's quite a big group, and that was really special for the children to learn the basics of bowls, and they enjoyed playing there after school and learning the skills of the game.
They still play through the school even now, and they go into Maryborough and compete against the Maryborough children.
Oh, that's special.
That's
I
fantastic.
didn't know that. That was in 2000.
My granddaughter come first once.
Oh, good. Oh, well, that's not surprising.
And young Henry Deason was her partner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Locals.
Yeah, that was in 2005, and then Barry and Val shifted to Bendigo.
I'd like to...
Go ahead.
That's about that. I'd like to get on to some of the more social aspects of the club. We had a social club for many years and ran a night pennant here, and it probably there was a full green of people, and we tried to encourage new bowlers through that pennant. there'll be a team win every night, but at the finish of the 6 weeks, we had a winner of the pennant. And everyone thoroughly enjoyed that. It was great fun. It wasn't so rigid as normal pennant. What else?
Because we got new bowlers that way too.
Yeah, we
didn't
did. We got a
Jeff
number.
and I'd take a different member each time.
It was a
each
triples
year.
event, and I ran that for quite a number of years until I got sick of it. It finished up because people just weren't interested in actually putting their name down for every week. So it got too hard trying to find the teams. It's about that one.
Then we played bankers sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
George Stewart had run bankers on pennant days on Saturday afternoon.
How would that work?
Pardon?
What does it mean by bankers?
Bankers means
People that are left on the bank and not in the pennant team.
Yeah.
can't play pennant. Yes.
Yeah.
We'd
They
play
went-
on the little green, and we'd get a can of fruit. The winners, George would give the can of fruit. So that was good.
Yeah.
It gave us.
Now, another social event was the Melbourne Cup Day, which is still going. We had it just the other day. It used to be a chicken and champagne luncheon, and we'd try and make a theme for the day, like best dressed or best hat, or one year we were clowns. And odd socks, you know. It was hard trying to think of something different to do, but it put an extra,
Interest
in the. We ran sweeps, of course, and had a game of bowls. That's what I was going to tell you. One year, a strange woman turned up, all dressed in white with a hat, and no one knew who it was or who she was. It was a long time afterwards we found out there was Barry Flett dressed up as a woman, and he took it off beautifully.
One of Val's uniforms.
Yeah, one of Val's uniforms, with a wig, and he fooled everyone that day. What else, Mark? Oh, go on.
Presentation nights, us girls would get together and we'd decide on a skit to do, a little funny act. And we'd all dress up as fairies one night and dance around the room. And different skits we thought of. That made fun, light-hearted fun on presentation night. And
every club ran a little skit, if they could. But we also did skits on presentation night.
Yeah, presentation night and on pennant dinner.
Pennant dinner,
nights,
yeah. And some of the men got involved. I tell you, there were two good ones with Barry,
Joe Lacey,
Joe Lacey,
Rob Ware,
Jeff Shea,
and
they were fantastic.
Peter Peters sometimes
yes,
when he was here.
Yeah.
When I was president, I ran a perfect match. Remember that TV program with all the five or six fellows around half circle, and their wives at the back, standing at the back of them, and I asked the fellas different personal questions about the wife, and that was good fun. Yeah. It's all good fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. A lot of work went into it.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and we don't have any of that now. We don't, because it is a lot of work. Oh, what else was there? Oh, day trips to Moama. the club would go up to a Moama to play Moama every second year, and the other year Moama would come down here. And Moama used to love coming down here because we'd put on a meal, and you know what country meals are like. It was, I can't
we
remember.
looked forward to that, didn't we? Because it was on the synthetic green up there we'd be playing. Not the new one, but the previous one.
A bit of an experience. I know I couldn't cut my weight down on that synthetic because it was so fast, and one of the Moama players said, just look at it as a little bird and just let it fly out of your hand. And that was the best way to treat the synthetic at that time. What other bus we had? And the ladies, when we were separate, had a bus trip every year for 3 or 4 days, and we'd go away and have fun together. And it kept us all together as a group.
Yeah.
A great bonding exercise.
Yeah, it was really good. Acting as tourists instead of bowlers. Is there anything else?
That's about all, I think.
I think so. I can't. Have you got anything else?
We've certainly got top class facilities now with our renovated kitchen area. It's really beautiful to work in, and our nice club rooms have been extended, and now it's a nice facility, and I think a lot of the community enjoy hiring it for different functions like after funerals, etc. And in 2020 the ladies section and men's section amalgamated, making one unified club and administered accordingly, so that's where the changes have come in. So we're no longer separate, we're just one club. That's
Yeah.
Well, ladies, on behalf of the Denali Bowling Club, thank you so much for both your contributions. It's been very special careers, and I hope there's many more years to come.
Well,
Thank
I've
you,
given it
Andy.
away.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Afternoon, fellas. Well, good morning and welcome. And we're here to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Denali Bowling Club, which is a fantastic effort. So we've got, from my left, Chris Williams, Barry Can and Alan Weir. So firstly, thanks, fellas, for taking the time to talk about your experiences with the club. And I'll start with Chris from the left. So Chris, if I can just run down the page and talk about some of your involvements. You've been president of the club for 4 years. Premierships, you've won 7 in total.
Yep.
Would that be correct? 5 on the weekend and 2 midweek.
Yep.
You've been a club champion 12 times.
Yep.
President's Trophy on 9 occasions.
Yep.
Handicap single, 3 or 4.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I need to check the records.
Club pairs, you won on 5 occasions.
Yes.
Champion of Champions on 3 occasions.
Yes.
The regional championship in 2016-2017, you won that.
Correct.
You were involved in that.
Yes, sir.
And that must have been a pretty special occasion.
Oh, it certainly was. Yes, yes. I one of the champions, and I went to Lansfield was to play the final, and luckily I got a bye. So the Ballarat champion of champions from the Ballarat region had to play the champion of champions from the central. There was Kyneton, Woodend, Gisborne, and that area there. And the Ballarat guy beat the Gisborne guy, so I then had to play the Ballarat champion, and and I ended up winning that. I've forgotten the name of the guy. He was a nice fella. Anyway, I've forgotten, and then that left me in the last 16 in the state, which I went. It was a East Bendigo. We played, and the guy I played this guy, and I was in the game. Look, there was only 2 bad ends, and he beat me. And he ended up being runners-up to in the state to Barry Lester. Barry Lester is a guy who's played for Australia a number of times. You follow bowls, he does a lot of commentary stuff on there. So he ended up winning that particular year. But I was very proud of that. That was really special, for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And various state events over a number of years.
Yeah, so it was a bit like that. Yeah, I played pairs with Jeff Davies. We won the association. I won the triples with Keith Mottram and George Edwards, and also the fours with Jeff Shea was in that group. Yeah, we won it. There was back in them days. The state competitions was quite big, and there was a lot of teams. I remember with Jeff and we had to play, I think about 5 games it was to get. We played Binger Crosley and Rod Johnson in the final over at Malden. We had to play. There was a lot of teams in it. These days it's nowhere near as big, So I was very proud of that because that was a big effort, and we had to go down to Whittlesea to play in the regional final, which we got beaten. But there was So that was it the 80s? I'm not sure now. 90s? I'm not sure.
If I can just touch back on, Chris, to win 12 club champions, it must be something at the end of your career, which I hope's not for a long time.
Yes, I hope so.
But you must be pretty proud of that.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's funny, and I probably shouldn't say this. I always had an ambition to equal or beat Alf Fremantle's. Alf had 9, but I thought, that's my aspirations to try and win that. And I did, and I've made it, and I've lost a few. This man over here on the thing there, the year he won it, we had an epic game. It was 24 all, and I had a bowl sitting on the kitty, and then he banged it back into the ditch, and I was still holding shot, and then with his last bowl, he drew shot to win the club championship. What year is that, Al? I can't remember now.
No, be 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Overall.
Yeah. So we've had. I've been lucky, I think, on many occasions, but. It's about being consistent draw bowler, Andy. And consistent.
And saying that, mentioning that championship match, you would have seen in your time a lot of great bowlers come through this club.
A lot of great bowlers, and there's good bowlers here now. Anybody can beat any day on their day if they're bowling well. Okay? I always remember one day I had a conversation with Alf Fremantle about it, and he said, "Well, you win 50% of your game of bowls, you'll have a successful bowling career." And he's totally correct, in my personal opinion. And there's good bowlers in this club now. There's plenty of them who could beat other bowlers in the club. And the next day they could lose to them too. Okay,
yep.
That's nature of sport.
Yep.
Nature of sport,
Yep.
and in most sports.
Yep.
But I've had a terrific run, and hopefully it continues.
Well, there's more than we'll talk about, Chris, that I'll get you to talk about, but I'll just jump sideways for a moment to talk about Barry. Barry, I'll start off the top with which you'd be very proud of, a life member of the club.
Yeah.
Do you know when that was?
This year.
Yep. What a proud moment that would be.
It was, yeah.
Yep. And well deserved. And you're now the current president of the club.
Yep. Give away the treasurer we've done that for 11 years. Done the president. So, yeah.
Fantastic. As you said, you've been treasurer for quite some years. Pairs champion on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
Premierships, 4 altogether. Would that be right?
Yeah, at least 4. Yeah.
Yep. Division 1.
I had a few of the ladies. I was in those.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not sure all their photos are up there.
No,
for the ladies, actually. Do you think there's some missing?
No, I think there's some missing.
Yeah, okay.
So Division 1 on 3 occasions, Division 3 on 1 occasion, and midweek 1 as well.
And I've lost two grand finals by one shot. Last year and before we started winning all the games, we lost that by one shot.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Regional pennant championship in 2017-2018. Proud moment.
Yeah.
Selector for many years.
Still.
Yep. And talk to us about that, because that would be some challenging times.
Yeah, well, Chris and I are doing it this year, and it's very hard. You try and do the best, and you're always doing the wrong thing. But this year we're lacking bowlers, so we're just putting people in holes, filling up.
Yeah.
That's why we might be able to get someone else to play.
Barry does a terrific job in doing that. He's to try and adjust things and get people. He does a terrific job. Yeah.
It'd be an unwanted job at times, I imagine.
People don't want to do it.
Yep. Commenced winter pairs 5 years ago.
A bit more than that.
Was it?
More.
Yeah,
Remember,
I guessed it.
it'd be 8 or 9 years
Yeah,
ago.
have to be.
What's his name, the bloke? Come
Well, you-
from
Well, you're the inaugural of it. You
Yeah.
started it, yeah.
Yeah.
We run it a few years in a row and then we shared it
Don
with
Kay.
Avoca.
No, not Don Carr, the other bloke, his wife was here too. I think they both died. I can't think of their names now. Anyhow, he sort of started, he got it all going and we just went on from there. I believe that's got the club going. The lesser bowlers are playing through the winter and it's improving their bowls.
Yep.
And that's why I think the club come up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as Al touched on, it was a week about with Avoca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just a bit hard on the greenkeepers and everyone to do it every week, so we decided to swap it with them.
Yep.
Week on, week off.
Yep.
Worked out well.
It's when Avoca got the synthetic green.
Yeah.
Right.
So they could bowl all winter.
Yep.
So it worked in pretty well with us, so we could look after our green a bit too.
Yep. We touched on, just to go sideways on that, we touched on the hope of getting a synthetic green sometime in the future, or is that something the club aims for?
Well, we came up last night at the meeting, so
Well, when I was president, we had a annual general meeting. This is 4 years, 3 or 4 years ago. There was a motion put to put a synthetic green in. There was about 40 people here. It was unanimous. Nobody voted against it. But we've done nothing from that particular time for a variety of reasons. A lot of bloody work for one. But two, we don't want, from my point of view, well, I don't want to be in conflict with the football and netball club too, you know, and they need X amount of millions of dollars, I should say, to build their facility, and we don't want to be fighting with them too, you know, we want them to have their facility too. But we need to do something, otherwise we're going to be in trouble in the future.
And Barry, underlining all of this is the words "great club person," which is a pretty, I think you wouldn't get any arguments from anyone about that, which again you'd be very proud of.
when I join something, I put into it, with the football club and fire brigade, even the SES, the whole lot, it's put into it. Communities makes the town.
Yep.
You know, you haven't got a good community, you've got nothing.
Barry's also a life member of the football and netball club too.
And the fire brigade and the
fire
CFA.
brigade. CFA.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just won a $200 award in bowls for, what is it?
The best bowler for October.
For doing, somebody's put a...
They just rang me, they want a photo, so I've got to get a photo taken.
Fantastic. And on our right is Alan Weir, who I think off the top I'd just like to make mention, Al, that there's 3 generations now that have played together at one point in time, which was your dad, yourself and your son Evan.
And mum,
And mum as well.
Yep.
Which, that would be pretty amazing and pretty proud.
Yeah, it is. It's the only sport you can do where you can play with your 80-year-old father and your 25-year-old son.
Yep.
It's a fantastic game, things like that.
And isn't that what makes a great club? that we can bring our families together in something like that.
We've got one family now. The kids started playing, 3 kids started playing, and then all of a sudden the father decided to have a go, and then the mother decided to have a go, so we got the whole 5 of them playing.
Fantastic. Al, off the top, you've been secretary of the club for a number of years.
Oh, yeah.
2
Yep.
years.
Yep. I was sort of fill-in man. I was on the board, and then I was senior vice president, and we had to get a secretary. Someone's got caught. I can't actually remember what happened. So it was between me and Chris, I think, and I said I'll be secretary, and Chris went president. Is that the way it went?
Something like that,
yeah. So that's So I've sort of been a fill-in man.
Yep.
Now I'm filling in on the bar manager. So.
Yep.
Doing a good job. Very good.
He is. He's brilliant.
Yep.
That was his plight. He should have been a publican.
That can be dangerous too. Now, as we've just mentioned before, you've also been a club champion.
Yeah, just the once. Yep.
Which
Chris failed to mention he beat me the next year.
But still, in saying that, a very proud moment.
Oh yes, yeah. Dad was runner-up 2 or 3 times, so
Yep.
Dad never got there.
Yep.
Mum's been the club champion. Mum was a regional champion, so
Yep.
yeah. So, yep.
Still
Dad
playing.
Dad couldn't do it.
Yep.
She's still playing 90, what?
Mum's 90, yeah, still
90.
playing bowls. Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic.
Wait to see his grandkids. He's got to be playing bowls and nappies.
President Trophy on 4 occasions.
Yes, that's 100 up. Yes, 4 times. Yes.
Yep. We've got here B grade on 1 occasion. B grade.
Yeah, well, you can only win it once,
Yep.
then you're thrown out of B grade.
And premierships, 4 of the weekend Division 1
Yep.
and 1 Division 4
Yeah, well, yeah, 3 or 2 or 3.
and 3
Yep.
midweek.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, I actually won the 4 top division and the 3 midweek in 4 years.
There
I
you
got
go.
7 premierships in 4 years.
That's pretty envious, isn't
It
it?
is.
And we touched on the generations, and what we were just having a discussion before. You've played in, I think you said, with 3 premierships with your son.
Yes, yeah, played with 3 with Evan, yeah. Yep.
Yep. Which
Yep.
is fantastic,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Evan said, I couldn't play footy with you. And I said, no, I was too old and I was too useless playing footy. But, yeah, so Evan played bowls with me. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was very good.
And also that you are the proud sponsor of the Pairs tournament.
Oh, yeah, Mum and Dad, that's how we just carried that on, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, fantastic. And as we've just mentioned also, we've got a couple of things written down here for you, Al. Runs the bar at the club and a great clubman.
Yeah, well, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
We tried to get him to do president, but he got out of that one, didn't he?
We don't ask him the reason why. We probably wouldn't be good. Have that on camera.
And just if I could pick your brains, the club rooms, if we could talk about that, late 70s, early 80s, drinkers and non-drinkers, if we could touch on that.
Well, look, that's for me. Those guys weren't playing. When I first started here, and there was a debate, okay, because there was the non-drinkers and there was the drinkers. And where the cool room is in there now, that used to be the bar area, and there used to be just a fridge, just an ordinary old fridge, and a few seats and a table, and we used to go in there and have I think they were long necks, if I remember rightly, back in them days, and have a few beers. But there was controversy because some of the non-drinkers say, "Oh no, we shouldn't have alcohol in the club, and all that other stuff. You should be going over to the hotel." And then, but then there was the drinkers, and they won the argument because they were Keith Mottram and Ian Fleck, George Edwards, and all them guys. They say, "We're going to have beers here," and that was the story. And they won the argument. So that started. I reckon it was early '80s because I was around when there was discussion about them. but I'm not quite sure what year it was. You know, the time goes quick, and I forget a lot of that stuff. Yeah, but I do remember that there was quite a debate at the time. Yeah.
Building of the small green in the mid 1980s.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Well, that were you guys?
Just about. I think it was done when I started.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, I was playing bowls anyway. I'll do this quick. Jeff Shea and Marge might be able to tell you more tomorrow. But that area where the little green is down between here and the fire track, that was just vacant, just rubbish, and nothing was there. And anyway, they decided the club was big enough to try and put another little green in. And in the club at the time, Sam Whitehead was a councillor. And if I'm right, Arthur Kennedy, I think Arthur Kennedy was secretary of the Bet Shire over there, and he played bowls here too. Anyway, Sam went to the council, and because this was council under council control, and to get the permission, I suppose, or get a motion for the council to put a bowling green in that area there, and they got it. And then it was a huge amount of work. They had to put the retainer wall in, and as I don't remember, I do remember going in, but I don't. And then they had to cart sand in, level it all off, and all that. And a lot of the volunteers done it. They was there. And I mean, a lot of them, like the Jimmy Bryants and all those types of people. I've got all their bloody names actually, and all then it took ages to build it, and they had to put that retainer, that concrete wall across there. And I always remember Arthur Lacey Joe Lacey telling me the story that they needed some timber to reinforce the wall, otherwise the wall would collapse, right? And he knew he was on the railways working for him. He said, "Oh yeah, I know where this timber is." So they went and just picked it up and brought it in and did it. And then a couple of weeks later, the railway supervisors come through and said, "We've had our stuff stolen from here and we're sitting here." And Lacey said, "Yeah, it's sitting at the bowling club in the little green." I'll never forget that, Lacey telling me that story. That was funny, yeah.
And then changing of the grass of the green, early 1990s.
You remember that?
Yeah, I think that was a changing point in the club. Once we got some good surface.
What, beforehand, Baz, what was it?
It'd be battling to get the green to run it any more than 12.
It was a course of cooch.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. San Marino, was that?
Yeah, it was a course of cooch, and it used to wear out. It would be all bare. It used to wear out around where you step off the bank. It used to be just there in the finish.
They're worried about the heat killing it all the time. Yeah. We got this and bang, we haven't looked back.
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing we've got to mention too is the extensions of the club rooms here.
Yep.
We, the club back then actually raised their own funds. The members lent the Bowls Club money to build the extensions.
Bobs, I think they called them.
Yeah. So
We did get a grant. It was part of, we did get a grant, but they still had to raise about 50 grand or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Was your father president or was then, or Barry? We were talking about before.
I don't know. I sort of think Dad might have been president when it was sort of, might have been getting finished or just starting. I can't really remember, but the role in there. But but that made the members all feel that they own this place. They're very proud of the place.
Yep.
Yeah, that was, I think if I remember rightly, and I could be true, it was 50 to 70 grand we had to raise.
Yeah.
And the members put in the grants, put in the money. And I know I got my money back quite quickly. In a couple of years we got that money back. So the committee did a terrific job and reimbursing the people. Yeah. And this is what we got now. It's a good facility, isn't it?
Great facility.
Yeah. It's used for everything now.
Yeah. Yes.
Club logo and uniform, 2006-07.
Well, the girls touched on it, didn't they, there before that, the logo. I think it was before then, it was about 2005 or 6, yeah.
That's what they mentioned.
Yeah, these uniforms, and that's where it came from. Before then, we were just playing in all whites.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very flat. The Bell were the main ones, isn't it?
Well, so was Josie Long and Loretta. Yeah, there was a few of them. Yeah, I was involved in it. Yeah.
And also, which would have been a big thing within the club, was ladies and men's combining.
Alan could tell the story. He was the one who pushed it.
I was not one of them. It was. It was. What happened was the history of that bowling decision was the ladies. It was always men's pennant on Saturday and ladies pennant on Tuesday, but the ladies, this is Victoria, were working, so they wanted to play on a Saturday. So they actually took Bowls Victoria to VCAT. And the ruling was, because bowls wasn't a strength or anything game, it's equivalent. So it was ruled there was no such thing as men's and ladies bowls because of that. So the women wanted to play pennant on a Saturday and they got their way. But all through here, and that, it also meant men could play on a Tuesday. And that did not go down very well with the ladies at all. So there was a ruling then that the men could play. The numbers are starting to dwindle too. The ladies, the Tuesday pennant was starting to dwindle. So they had this ruling then that the women had to be third and skipper and men could only lead or second. So, and that was in, and it got harder and harder because you had to have a survey or something done every 2 years so that you could present it to Bowls Victoria something to say this is what the district wants. Yep. Otherwise, anyway, it just, and in the finish I think Bowls Victoria said, look, you'd lose it if it went to VCAT anyway. You'd lose it, so it's open slather now. So yeah, and there's still quite a few women do not like men playing.
The older ladies are the problem.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't do that too. Watch what you say.
It makes it more complicated. It makes it more complicated because world bowls is still men and ladies bowls, and the Commonwealth Games is singles and men's and ladies bowls, and that's why we've still got men's and ladies championships because it's sort of still tangled up with world bowls. Yep. Yeah, but the state of Victoria has ruled that there's no such thing as men's and ladies bowls. So it gets quite complicated in there, the politics of it all.
And that's something that I'm not going to get involved in.
I think we better watch what we say here.
So another thing I just thought I'd touch base with is sending the bowls away for testing.
Oh yes, well you guys wouldn't have. Did you have to send your bowls away for testing? No. When I first started bowls at in there, we used to have to send the bowls away for testing. I think it was every 3 or 4 years or something. And I remember going, and the testing place, you could send away to whatever mail, but I ended up going to East Bendigo out near Mayfair Park. That's where they used to do the testing. And it was quite interesting. So they had this timber frame in which they used to run the bowl down. It might stand about 1 metre or something. I can't remember exactly. Run it down, and they check the curve. You know, the bowls, and to make sure it hasn't been manipulated and that type of thing. And also the weight of the bowl and all that other stuff, so that it's all to standard. You know, for what that particular bowl was. Yeah. And of course, all the bowls back when it started, they were other on weight of a bowl and the size of the bowl. They all had the same line and everything, and you play with what do you call the curvarage? They what to do the curvarage, and they were they used to have, everybody used to have to send away and get their bowls checked. Yeah, and I think it stopped when the narrow bias bowls started to come into play. When was that? 1980 or 90, something like that?
Yeah, in the 90s somewhere.
Yeah. You used to have to get your bowl stamped, didn't you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they used to do it on the side. Yeah.
Now they have them nearly running straight down the middle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Play timber bowls.
And if I could ask you your opinions on just that, the bowls changing over the years, like the narrow bias. Has that made a difference? Or
I'm not sure they're the best, personally.
The skill's going out of it when you take out the blows.
Yeah.
Like I used to use the old Luton bowls, and I didn't want to change. But I woke up. If you're out a little bit on with an old bowl, you finished a mile away. With the new bowls, you're only a little. So it just cuts down the error.
And if you watch the really top bowlers playing bowls these days, they'll have a whole heap of bowls. The leaders get a bowls and they keep building to it. And what the thirds and the skippers doing is just pushing into the head all the time. The skill of draw bowling's not there anymore. It's just pushing into the head all the time. You know, and trying to manipulate it to get a thing there. Yeah, where the old bowls, you know, it was a real art. Yeah, playing, you know, you had to go way out wide and bring the bowl back in and get it close to the kitty. You know, there's a skill in that.
what's your thoughts on it, Al?
Oh, it's no. Well, my thoughts are that it's you've still got to have touch. You've still got to get the bowl to the kitty somehow. So the narrow bowls, you have to have precision with your weight with narrow bowls. With the bigger bias, you can give more weight because your bowl sort of stops in a bigger area. So you don't have to be quite as accurate with your weight. So there's still a skill all through that. The biggest change I reckon in bowls has been the arm for the older, so that older bowlers can keep playing bowls and they've got their arm. These two blokes here play with an arm, so and it keeps the older, well, the least fitter people able to bowl.
Yep.
I'm playing with a walker this year. I started playing. It made a lot of difference. Helps me.
Explain that then.
Well, I got my back's really bad,
Yep.
and it just takes the pressure off my back. Yeah, and I can play all day and have no worries. I was thinking of giving the game away this year. As soon as I started doing that, me on skipping made a lot of difference.
And could you explain the arm? Does that come at a disadvantage or something you've got to get used to, obviously?
You've got to get used to it, because you don't have the same feel in your hand as you would for the hand. It's not as sensitive, you know, where you have more sensitive on your fingers and that type. With the arm, you don't have that. And I always found playing with the hand, playing from going the hand and arm, it took me 2 to 3 years to try and get that touch and all. And you still don't have that same touch as you do with having a bowl in your hand.
Yep.
That's right. And you see all the top bowlers playing for Australia. Nobody plays with an arm. They play with their hands because they've got more feel through their fingers and that. You don't have that with the arm.
Mind you, there's people that play for Australia now are 22 years old.
Yeah, it's true too.
And let's talk about that, because hasn't it changed the dynamic, age dynamic?
Yes.
Because bowls was always traditionally something you done maybe in retirement.
That's right. Well, it's not only that. There's good money in bowls now. Australia is by far the biggest. The leaders in world bowls, and that's probably, and the most money in the world in Australia with bowls. You go to Queensland and up through there, they've got poker machines. This is New South Wales too. They've got poker machines, and they've got money rolling in. So they employ the top bowlers. I mean, the top bowlers around the world, they'll come and be living in Australia and working in Australia and playing bowls for their clubs where they are, because some of them could get $100,000 a year playing more bowls and just going around the whole circuit. It's Australia dominated, and world bowls used to operate out of England. I think it operates now out of Queensland, world bowls now, and that's where they got their headquarters and all that other stuff. So there's money in bowls now. There's people making a living out of it.
I need to be out of here in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Fellas, if I could just touch on some of the great memories you've got, maybe each, just from the club. over your time, some of the things that have meant some special times for you.
Yeah, I think winning the 4 premierships was terrific, and I'll be very quick with that was thing there. No, I'll leave it at that. And obviously winning the regional champions for me personally, just all the friendships and everything. I mean, there's been a lot of people, and I'll be honest, there's nobody alive when from I started playing ball. Jeff and Mark Shea are, but they're with our club anymore.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Give them guys.
What about you, Barry?
I don't know, the one that really sticks in my mind was Chris and I won the state pairs.
Yep.
The next level we had to go down to Macedon and play. We went there and we looked up on the board and here's his scorecard. 72-2 I think it was.
Better game. Yeah, it's right on.
Well, and what about you, Al?
Yeah, they're nearly all just family things, really. Playing pennant, we had a team of Weirs. One day, the club was good enough to pick us just for the one Saturday. Dad, Mum, and me and Evan played a pennant game. That's
Yep.
quite.
Yep.
And I won the state pairs with Evan.
Yep.
And yeah, once again, the 4 premierships in a row. That was
Yep.
a big achievement.
Yep.
Geez.
Yeah. But certainly the family connection.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, at this point in time, I'd like to thank you all very much for your time, and I really hope there's many more years to come.
Thank
You
you.
enjoy great success in this great club.
Thanks.
Very
Thanks
good.
to you, Andy. Good on you, mate. Thanks to you. Good on you. Yeah.
Good afternoon, and today we're here to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Denali Bowling Club, and we've got 2 very special former members and two very special Denali people with us in Marge and Jeff Shea. So welcome to both of you, and thanks for coming along today.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
If I can just start with Marge, we've got written here 1973, but I think you said it was 1970.
75 I started.
Yep. You were the Associate Ladies President for 2 years.
At least, yeah.
Club Champion, I think we just said twice.
Yes.
President's Trophy, you've won that.
Yes, I think I won everything that there was to win there. Then I left.
The handicap singles on multiple occasions, and also the Premiership of 2000-2001. And Marge, tell us some of your memories, how yours started and so forth.
Well, I was a bit lucky. I wanted to, well, I hadn't thought of playing bowls until Jeff actually did, and he lost the sight of his eye. So he wasn't so good at the tennis that he used to be, so he decided he'd try bowls. And he was 34, so he used to come home telling me how he'd touched the kitty and all this sort of stuff. So I thought, well, I better find out who this kitty is. So I came along. I really only played social bowls for about the first quite a few years, and then I played pennant. I led in pennant for 8 years.
What does that mean, skipper?
I was a leader,
Oh,
leader.
Yep.
I didn't last long after that. I went straight up to skipping, I think, fairly quickly. But yeah, so when I first started, the white leghorns had just gone out. And by that I mean the ladies used to have to wear white stockings. So, but we still had to always wear stockings. And the biggest thing I notice now is the uniforms.
The change.
The change, because they were all either dresses or skirts. You didn't have shorts and slacks, and so that's one of the biggest things I noticed. Yeah.
And describe the Denali Bowling Club at the time, some of the things about that then, can you remember?
I know the little green wasn't there. Yep. There was no sign of the little green. No, this clubhouse was probably about half the size that it is now. And I'm not sure where we used to go to the toilets. I said to Jeff last night, can you remember? I know we used to go up to the gardens there at times near the swimming pool to the toilets. So whether it was when those were being built, I can't really remember where the toilets were otherwise. And the kitchen wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of catering.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a lot of good times.
Would have been a lot of great names, Denali names in the day.
Molly Flett was my skipper for quite a while. Ethel Herford, I played with her. Fremantle's, Reg and Alf's mother was actually still playing when I started. Jeff can probably remember better than I can.
Yeah.
But a lot, and Nesta Whitehead, Sam Whitehead, Nesta was playing when I started.
Yeah.
Emmy Skane,
Yeah.
she was here. But there was a lot that started after I did. I was by far and many years the youngest when I started, for many, many years.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting to the stage where I'm the oldest, but yeah, by far the youngest. But we had a lot of good times. We had a lot of the presentation nights. We had a lot of fun nights. I've got a lot of photos of those I'll bring out on the day.
Yeah.
I didn't join in it so much, but Jeff was on the social club, I think, most of the time. But once I did join in, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But,
And Marge, would you play both midweek and weekends?
no, I didn't play much of weekends because I was working still nearly full time. So I just, sometimes, we started at 1 o'clock for pennant then, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was no such thing as a heat rule. You just played, doesn't matter how hot it was, you just played. And I used to knock off, as soon as I knocked off, quite a few times I'd go straight to work and start at 3:30 or whatever. They gave me about half an hour grace, but I worked it fairly well, or sometimes it was night shift, but I worked all the time that I played.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I left here in 2003, so that's the year I retired from work.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were discussing that before, but on retirement, you both moved into Maryborough, which...
We moved into Maryborough the year before I retired. We moved it in there 2002. And so I still came out here and played because I was still working, so I came and played for that first year after we moved in there.
Very good. I'll just introduce the young man sitting next to you, which is Jeff Shea. Jeff, you commenced in 1973.
Yes.
You've been club champion twice we've got here, would that be right?
Right. Yes.
10 years apart.
Yep, there you go. President's Trophy, you've won that. Club pairs, you won that with Jeff Davies.
Yes. I won pairs and the singles and was the president.
Yep, there you go. That was a big year.
Well, the first year you played with Jim Bryant, didn't you, and won the pairs?
Hmm?
That's the first year you played. You played with Jim Bryant and won the pairs.
Yeah.
And the Association Fours in 1991.
Yes, that'd be correct.
Yeah, yeah. And tell us about what brought you here then, Jeff.
What?
Brought you about starting bowls?
Well, I lost the sight in the eye with an accident, stupid accident, my own fault.
Yep.
Got a bit of metal in it. And I went to the doctor in here and he arranged it. And I would have thought I should have went straight over there. But there was a mix-up somewhere and appointment wasn't until next day. Well, there was Dr. Robinson, and of course he went a bit off when he heard about the mix-up. But yes.
Yeah, it was just too long.
I was in agony, as you can imagine.
I was lucky it didn't get infected.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course when you say it was,
Well, it was 1964.
64
Tracy
when
was 6 weeks old.
Tracy was born.
Fortnight old.
Yeah. And then I played, when I started bowls, I used to take the kids to down to Talbot
Yep.
for their tennis and that, and used to go and play bowls with them.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have. Never mind. Yeah.
And that sort of got you started on the bowls.
Yes. Yeah. And what else do you want to know?
And then, so in 1973, you joined Denali,
Yep,
and away it went from there.
that's right.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And you'd play. What days would you play the bowls? Would you play the weekend or during the week?
Just the weekends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saturday.
We used to have a lot
Sunday
of social
bowls.
bowls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had a lot of social
But
bowls.
as Mud said, social bowls was the main thing then.
Yep. Yep.
There's a lot of social bowls we played.
Yep. And there would have been, was there a strong presence, some certainly strong bowlers in Denali, the club itself?
There was. Some of the ones that played against then was Henry Howard, Murray Peart,
Yep.
Howard Taylor, Jim Bryant, Bert Flatt, Alf Fremantle. The ones we played in the pairs was Bert Flatt and Jimmy Harrop. They were a couple of good bowlers then.
Some great names.
And we won.
Yep.
Of course, Jim was, he was secretary a long time for the bowlers here, and he played a lot of bowls, and I'm sure it was a big boost for him
Yep.
to beat anyone at that stage, especially the ones that have been playing for years.
Yep.
Yes.
And the bowling club would have, am I right in saying, would have been somewhere, a great meeting place as well for people to come to as far as to gather?
Yes, it was, and then we had the cricketers come down and had sort of social bowls with them at times, and of course they started then, probably wouldn't have been that long after I did. And of course Keith Mottram was he was instigator on the bowls down the Little Green, and
Yep.
it's named after him.
Yep.
And he did a hell of a lot as far as administration went.
Yep.
He was delegates for years.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course, we got a few bowlers from that.
Yep.
And well, later on, we had the social club had the ones that during the night bowls, started night bowls. And the idea the following year you'd get a new bowler if you could, in each one. And we started a lot of bowlers with that.
Yep.
The likes of Joe and Peg Lacey, Arthur Deason, Graham Raven, Roy Pickering, to name a few.
Yeah. Yep.
We played together. There was two bowlers and you had a new one.
The triples it was.
Yeah, right. And that would go on year after year.
That went on
did.
quite a few years.
And we had too many for the big green, and at that time we had the little green too, and they would start at 6 o'clock, and the other would start at 7
Because they had the lights here.
because of the lights. Would have been daylight saving,
Yeah, well, daylight saving, yes, it would have.
would have been finished then.
No, January we always started.
Was it?
Played, yeah.
Well, anyway, that's how many bowlers we had.
Yeah, which is quite a few.
The
Oh,
greens were full.
Yeah.
that went on for a few years. I don't know why it stopped.
Mm.
I had no one to run it, I suppose. He ran it for most of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we started early in the piece, the green used to be a poor grass that went blue on the hot days. More or less had to put a lot of water on it to keep it going. And one day when the Maryborough team come out, they bought crayfish
Crayfish and put on
the green.
Do you remember that, Chris?
That didn't go down too well with the green team.
Tell us about that. What was that all about?
They
I reckon it was that wet
that damp.
crayfish live in it.
That's a good story.
What else did we?
That brought out the... I can't remember who it was that brought out the crayfish.
No.
I don't know either.
As Bud said, the break-up nights, we were really into them.
Yeah.
There's always plays put on and dress-ups. As you'll see in some of the photos that come. I didn't win a premiership here with Denali over 29 years. You're sort of in the main team most of the time, and the closest we got, we played over in Maryborough. Chris would remember that because he played that day, and after the regulation 25 ends each was level.
That's right.
We played another end each and we're still level. Played another end each and we lost.
That's when we won the one for the women. That one that I won with the women was what was like a B grade. We had 9 in that section, whereas the top team has had 12, and they cut that one to 9, and we beat Avoca at Talbot. Avoca hadn't been beaten the whole year, and we beat them in the premiership. And Val Flett had broken her leg. She was in plaster, so she couldn't play. So Therese Milne played. She filled in and she played very well. So I've got fond memories of Therese, of course, but yes. So, yeah, that's the one that we won. That's probably the only one that I won here too, I think. I did the first year I was in Maryborough in 2003. We played in the grand final against Denali, and Highland won the grand final because my team was the only rink that won, and I beat Nesta Whitehead 33-12. So that was a bit of, there was no animosity or anything, but it was a good day, really. Yep. We'd lost one rink fairly well. Joycey Hunt skipped that. And we lost the other one by 1, and I had enough to cover us, so we won it. I was going to mention the length of the uniforms, and there's probably still a ruler out there with the mark on it. You had to have it no further than 23 inches from the floor, and the president of the club here was the one that had to make sure that everyone's uniform was long enough. And that was still going when I started.
So the president measured it? The president measured it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So, very interesting. I'd hate to see the look on some of the older ladies' faces now if they were here and see some of the uniforms. Wouldn't you, Chris? Can you imagine it? So, no.
And what about some of the social functions you mentioned, Jeff? The likes would have been some great times.
Certainly were.
And they would be to celebrate end of year or?
It was presentation night.
Yep.
Yeah,
End of the year.
yeah. I can remember fixing up one of my ball dresses for him. Got him into that, and I made a big thing like the dolls, dressed him up like a Cupid doll in this outfit. So, have a drink. I haven't found photos of that yet, but I will, hopefully. I've had some laughs today. I've got one here actually, I'll show you him later.
Did you win the Belle of the Ball, Jeff?
No,
I don't know what that one was all about. Did you ever dress up, Chris?
No, I don't think so.
We had some
I did.
some really good ones, like the one that really was into it was George Edwards. George loved those nights. Arthur Lacey, Sam Whitehead, they all got dressed up, didn't they?
Keith Mottram.
Keith Mottram, yeah. Ian Flett, he loved those nights. Yeah, they were all, really, we had a lot of laughs and a lot of fun. A lot. Don't seem to have much, well, we don't have much down in Maryborough. That we did have a few nights down there. We had the ladies of the night, and I got him dressed up in Tracy's dress she had when she was pregnant, because Tracy's as tall as him, so we've had a few, but not like we used to have here, no. No, that was one thing we missed a lot, was the lovely presentation nights.
Another thing I thought I remembered was I had to, when Greg was, about 16? 16, he used to come in and have a bowl. That didn't suit Alf.
Alf Fremantle.
Instead, he brought it up and I had to face the committee at the time, and they voted that he could play. Did he join, or?
I think he might have.
I think he might have had a. Well, you wouldn't have known what would have been as far as age goes, but.
And what was the issue? What was the issue with Greg coming up with you?
Should be playing cricket or
Tennis or something.
Something like that.
Which he probably still was, but.
Yeah. Anyway, that gave the okay, and it didn't do Greg any good because, well, I'm still playing with him now.
Yeah. And Greg went on to play with Denali?
Yes, I think he did. Yes.
He was emergency member of the Grand Final.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He was. Yes, he was.
And he went on to be a great bowler himself.
Yes.
Very, very good bowler. But the worst part of it was that a couple of years later, Alf had his own grandson here playing, who was also 16. That was a, yeah. We didn't say anything, but it wasn't, yeah, it was just a little thing that you don't forget.
And the rest of the family, is anyone else bowlers in the family?
Not yet, but they've had a go. Our youngest daughter is over at Lake Bolac. They've got the motel there, and they've got a little bowling club over there, and she's got my second last lot of bowls. And she goes up and has when she has time, she likes it. She's pretty good too, so they're all good at sport. The whole lot of them are good at sport. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I think that was another thing why I didn't play, was that they used to take them around to their sports and things like that, and not let them miss out.
And it was a very busy time, such as Denali, like all small country towns, where sport was a big thing. in families?
It was.
Six or eight tennis teams.
Yes,
they
here
had.
then.
So you can imagine they had a few courts then too.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Now they can't get a team.
No. Very hard to believe.
But all sports have fallen away. Like even cricket, football, of course, everybody can't get a team. Yeah.
Can you remember during your time with Denali, who was your main rivals? Was there such a thing on the bowling?
Oh yes. Joycey Hunt was a great rival.
And Joyce, she was playing with...
She was a good bowler.
Yeah.
Yes. She was a great rival. And I suppose Marg Davies, once she started, but she started fairly, I don't know what year Marg started, but it was after me, fairly. I used to try and get her to come, but she liked her tennis still, so she's a good tennis player. But no, I sort of gave up the tennis. I think it was about 45 the last time I played tennis, and it was 45 degrees out at Natty one day, and I played with Greg in the mixed. He said, "Mum, you get up on the net and stay there and I'll do the rest." I said, "Right, that suits me fine." So that was my last competitive tennis. We used to have a competition over here, a Wednesday hit and giggle one, but that was about my last, but yeah. So I mainly played midweek. I didn't play of a weekend because, as I said, work was too busy at work. But we had no men in the teams midweek then. It was all women. Now we've hardly got any women, and it's nearly all men, isn't it, Chris? Yeah. Yep. That's the sad. I think at the moment at Highland we've only got about 11 women who are playing. I don't know how many Denali's got now. Wouldn't be much more, would it, Chris? Sadly.
And Jeff, you'd remember some great rivals or names in the bowling club?
Well, only in the recent years since I moved over there, Denali was always a main rival.
Chris Williams was one of them. Remember that last championship he won was down in the little green against you. I think my nails are just starting to grow now.
It went down to the wire, did it?
It was pretty close, wasn't it, Chris?
Well, it was bad luck for Chris. He was going through gates. He probably remembers them.
Somebody
it was right
was
into the head, but
It was a good game.
Managed to see it through, and the other one was with Barry Flat. The other one I won, yeah.
And what about that one? Was that close or?
That one's good. I'll give another go.
Wasn't too bad, that one. No. Probably the best thing Greg and I have won was the father-son one.
Over in Bendigo.
Over in Bendigo. We had players from, a lot from Melbourne come up for that. That used to be a big tournament. And I think we had to play 5 playoffs after you finished the ordinary rounds. And I know I had one on the wrong bias, not that
Right.
did any good, but the last bowl was Greg's. The kid had been shifted right out the side, and he had to come in between 2 bowls, right round that way. He just shifted the shot bowl. That's how we won that. It's hard to believe that anyone could bowl a bowl like that come in so far, because old bowls used to turn a lot, the old ones did.
Yeah,
We got $500 each out of that.
And a special memory to do with your son.
Name on the board over at
Over in Bendigo, they
Woodville.
got their name, on the board.
Woodville used to run it. Yeah.
Well, last Sunday, him and Greg played in the pairs, in the district pairs, and they won their section. It was 3 games of 15 ends each game, and walk over pairs, which means that you play 2 and you walk up the other end and you come back down, you play your that's how it was played, and he played 3 games of that last Sunday and they won their section.
You would have slept well that night, Jeff.
Jumped around a bit, I think. I think he was still playing bowls.
I'm sure it'll be the last one. I took a few days to get over that.
You didn't admit it. But no, I think Greg forgets that his father's getting old.
What age are you both?
86 Jeff is, I'm 84.
Yeah.
Still playing 2 or 3, we had a game yesterday, didn't we? We were all up yesterday, but 2 or 3 days a week.
Every practice.
Yeah,
Got to come out here tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
and I see a bloke's on the roll, getting it pretty fast. I don't know how I'll handle that.
well, you played at Carisbrook. No, it's still look forward to the bowls. It's a funny thing, but I do. But probably beat staying at home.
Certainly been a big part of your lives.
It
We
has.
could do it together.
All sport has been a big part of our lives, especially like the kids and that. But yeah, they all like their sport. They all did like their sport.
Yeah.
Yes. Work was a big part too. I think that'll do us.
Haven't got anything else?
What else do you have written down there? You've been writing little notes.
No, I think it's covered a lot. Oh, Greg has been doing, how many years bowls in Maryborough?
150 it'll be.
And he's been going through the old papers to find out what. And I found out that my father played cricket against these ones that were still bowling, likes of Henry Howard and Maury Peart. I'd never asked Dad about cricket, because I didn't think, well, in those days, everything was so tight. You had to live, and I didn't know that he spent much time on the sport, but he did all right at cricket.
Good cricketer.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bad tennis player either, even when he got old. He was pretty good.
Well, thank you so much to both of you for coming in. It's been lovely to catch up, and absolute pleasure, and thank you for all your times at the Denali Bowling Club.
Oh, well.
Thank you.
Still like coming back out and having a look and having a
I
game.
think you're talking about the dresses and all that. I think they're trying to set something like for that 80th, for the 80th, somebody wearing dresses like that, or something. I heard them talking about it, but
I think there should be still some around. We did have some. Actually, I liked the skirts, and I also had culottes, as long as they were long enough, and yeah, which is a split sort of a skirt, and they were very, very comfortable to wear for bowls. But I wouldn't own a bowl skirt now. Got to keep up with everyone else.
is it also, am I right in thinking here, back in them days, if it was a tournament on for men, and the ladies were cutting for it, they had to come in whites.
Yes,
And yes, for that to do the catering and all that.
yes.
What is the reason for that? Can you remember?
I can't really remember, but I think, yeah, it was the official part of the thing. It was just part of, everybody just accepted it. But one of the things I do remember was if you came in and the president still had her hat on, you could not take your hat off until the president did. I remember that very vividly. So, and hats were sort of a must really. It was a little bit like the kids at school now. If they don't have a hat, they don't go out to play. So, yeah, but hats were definitely one of the protocols.
And the other thing I was thinking, over your period of time, the rules of the game. I mean, the bowls have changed, the greens have changed.
The bowls have changed very, very, very much.
Probably not to the better, but they have, from the point of it. The greens have changed, and obviously but the rules haven't changed a lot.
Not a lot, no. I've been an umpire since I finished work, which is 22 years I've been an umpire.
Yeah.
And no, you're right, Chris, there's not a lot of changes in the rules. No. Still a lot of people don't know them. But
That's right, yeah. Oh, the common sense supposed to prevail. And you do forget too, don't you?
Ah, you do. I've got to stop and think if somebody asks me something a lot of the time. Yeah.
One thing that's really slipped is the etiquette.
Etiquette, yes.
Bowls etiquette.
Yeah. There was a lot of etiquette when we started.
Okay, explain yourself. Difference from now to then.
Well, for a start, the leader always picked the bowl up and gave it to his opposition. That was one of the things that was very, very much. So, there's no standing on the green like the players do now after they've bowled. You had to go back and sit on the seat.
Same when they come down, they couldn't.
And you're not supposed to, sorry, with the third, once they release their last bowl, you see a lot of them walking up now in front of them. That was a no-no. You had to wait until that bowl so that the third could watch where his bowl went. A lot of them don't now, they don't worry about that. And clapping when someone has a bad bowl or gives a shot away, that was a big no-no. That was a really big no-no. But you don't see it that often now either, but it definitely gets frowned upon.
The leader's supposed to put the match kitty away.
Oh, yeah. After they finished the game, that was the leader's job, to clean up the mats and the kiddies. Because a lot of some of the tournaments you'd go to, there's a lot of drinking on the green and that. And smoking, that's another one. That's a big one. There's smoking areas have you got smoking areas here?
Yes. Actually, I was the other night with 3 corners, not that one thing.
Right. We have actually designated smoking areas and vamping, as they do these days. Yeah, so that's another big thing that's probably changed, because there was smoking in the clubhouses and everything, wasn't there? But that's out now, so.
Do you remember the bar, the corner of the bar? I remember in the early 80s there was a debate between the non-drinkers and the drinkers. Remember the bar is up in the corner there?
Yep.
There was a non-drinking group that didn't want to have the bar there, and then there was a
Yes.
group,
Yes.
and which was obviously made up of Kevin Mottram, George Edwards and
Brian Harrop.
Brian Harrop as well. Brian wasn't in.
No. Yes.
I always remember there was a debate going on, and then a group was saying, no, we shouldn't have alcohol in the club, and all that stuff. And,
Well, was there a bar here when we started?
Probably not.
I don't think there was.
no, I don't think there was.
I'm pretty sure there wasn't. No bar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the bar when I started was there, but there was a lot of debate.
Yes, about it. Yeah.
And the people who enjoyed an alcohol having a drink won.
Yes. Yes. Oh well,
I didn't get involved. But I was happy.
if you hadn't, if they hadn't, you would have lost a lot of members.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Oh, particular club right now. If it wasn't for alcohol, we'd be formation.
Yes, yes, yes. And of course our club is very different over there because I was used to catering for all sorts of things here. We had funerals, we had all sorts of things, as Chris said, for the tournaments and all that. Whereas over there, we're not allowed to cater because they've got their own kitchen over there. So it was a very different lifestyle when I went over there.
Yes, certainly is.
We used to enjoy our catering here. We really, you know, we had a bit of fun out there and worked pretty hard, but it was worth it.
Well, as you know, the ladies here now are of age,
Yes.
and so they don't do a lot of big catering.
They don't do funerals and things like that. Or not unless, yeah.
CFA or some other group.
Yes, they do it, have it in here, but it's not. Yeah.
As long as we've got the bar.
Yes, 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 yeah. Yes, otherwise, that's it. Enjoyed it. Thank you very much
Thank you very much.
for asking us. Thanks, Chris. And thank you, Andy. And